Welcome back, guys. So this is all about meal planning, how to meal plan efficiently, how to meal plan so you can stay motivated and you've got all your cooking ready for a busy week, whether it's at work or whatever you're doing that week. You're going to have a plan and something that is going to make you kind of actually want to cook, get it out the way and have everything ready for it in the week. We're just going to jump straight into it. So firstly, I'm just going to show you what I have in front of me. And to be honest, this is a nice chance, even if you only have 20 minutes to do it, because you've got a family or you're really busy, make yourself a nice cup of tea. So I've got a cup of tea here. I've basically just got a plain piece of paper, so you could have a notebook, so that's going to be for like writing down the ideas and just brainstorming. And then I have my actual meal plan, so you don't have to use this, but it does help and it makes you kind of feel a bit more organized. So this is my actual meal plan, and you can get these online on my website anyway. And then with that, I also have a shopping list. So I've actually started putting some bits on there that I already need, but that's just like extra stuff like coffee and orange juice. It's not for the meal. So anyway, and also maybe have like, if you've got a tablet or your phone with you, just to do a bit of Googling for inspiration. And then I also have some recipe books. Got just a few for inspiration. This is quite a fancy one to assume, but I also have just some really old ones that I also just have had as a kid, and they're really good. They've got some really good recipes in. So yeah, that's just for inspiration. So now let's get into it. So the first thing that I do is write a recipe bank. So forget about planning just for the week. Just have 5 minutes just writing down loads of ideas. So like in my mind, when I write them down, I just kind of split the page roughly into 4 and just think, brainstorm breakfasts, lunches, dinners, and then like desserts. If you're someone that likes to do a bit of baking on the weekend, then you've just got a list of things that you be ready to make on the weekend. So, okay, so the first thing, get your notepad or pen or the notes app on your phone, anything, and I'm just going to literally write down a load of ideas I have. And also I try and keep it seasonal, so we are start of August now, so it's kind of summery, but we're also going to be heading into autumn. I prefer like autumnal comfort food, so I'm kind of writing down summer autumn kind of food, so I'm just going to do that at the moment. Also, if you're someone like me and at school you were like obsessed with like all these, is it Stedler, sorry, with the whole range of like the Stedler pens. This is a great time to get them back out of the closet or your pencil case and use them. So it actually makes it a bit more fun. So I'm gonna do breakfasts in pink, lunches in green, and we'll do dinners in orange. It just makes it a little bit more fun to do, and if you do have a bit longer than 20 minutes, then it's just makes it look nicer. It makes you feel like it's more of like a fun thing to do. What I'll also do is, whilst I'm noting these down, I'll put on screen a load of stuff. If you really struggle with inspiration for what to cook, I'm just going to put them on screen, and I'll probably pop them in the description as well, so that if you just struggle with ideas. So I'll put a load of stuff in there as well, so I'm just going to note mine down. Also, this is a great time to open up the recipe books, just have a flick through Google. I've also got my own recipe bank that I had written up just previously, so I'm just pulling a few ideas. They're summary ideas though, so they're not exactly right, which is why I'm doing a new one for this video for you. Okay, so I have done the recipe bank. I'll put a little clip here so you can see it, but it's basically just a range of the food that I love and a few sort of things that maybe don't have as often. So hopefully this will give you like a good amount of ideas. If not, write down the things that you really love that you have all the time. And if it's just a week where you just want to make the same thing over and over again, because that's the easiest thing to keep you sort of, eating well, not snacking all week on like unhealthy sugar loaded stuff, then just do that, because sometimes life is too complicated, and just keep it simple. Okay, so the next thing to do is definitely, I would recommend typing this up. So or put it in your notes in your phone. I really recommend having a digital version, so you can put that on your fridge, somewhere in your room. So also typing up and having a screenshot, so you can just refer back to it. Just if you on WhatsApp, if you didn't know already, you can message yourself. So I sometimes message myself just with the ideas, and it means that the whole conversation is not getting clogged up, and it's just got the ideas that you want for that week. So the next stage is you've got your recipe bank. So before you decide exactly what food you're gonna make that week, also just consider what you've got in your fridge. So for example, if you have a load of tomatoes that look like they're about to go off, then that would be perfect to make a sort of a homemade tomato, a really basic tomato pasta. If you've got leftover bread that's gonna go stale, you could think of turning that into croutons. So maybe you're gonna do a salad with croutons on them. So try and think about what you've got already, especially the fresh stuff that's gonna go off. Then once you've decided, you're then gonna write in your meal plan those ideas. So these are the ones that I make. So if you really struggle with ideas and you just want it all done for you, everything written out, you know, all the recipes and the kind of ingredients lists, I'll put a link in the description as well, but it's basically on my website. I do 2 weekly meal plans. People seem to love them, and you know, they buy them, they're really cheap. So yeah, go and get one of those if you would prefer. If not, there's a free customizable meal plan that you can download, and it's basically just a really easy setup. This is the black and white version. It's actually slightly colored when you have a digital version. But yeah, very simple, Monday through to Sunday, and then breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack. Just because sometimes for snacks, it's good to write in something like, you know, fruit or granola and yogurt, rather than just sort of throughout the week buying loads of like crisps and sweets or little cakey bits. So I'm just gonna write down my ones for this week. Okay, another point to make is that you can see in the pink pen, I've written over like leftovers on a Friday. So I think a lot of us, when we tend to batch cook, a lot of us when we meal plan, we'll put a different meal for every single day. But actually by the time that you've gone through the whole week, you've probably got loads of leftovers. So just dedicate a day to eating up your leftovers. And I know I put it for breakfast as well, but that's sometimes because on a Friday, I like to just maybe have something a bit more unusual that I don't need to like meal prep for. So that's why I've put it in there. Okay, so I'm just gonna read out what my meal plan for the week is. So you also saw that I circled the Saturday and Sunday in yellow. So this is where like color coding for me really helps, because it's just so visual. So you can see that the Saturday and Sunday is just blocked off with a yellow, and that's because our family are coming over from Spain, and it's basically a weekend where my parents are very likely to kind of want to cook for everyone. So therefore, like, I don't really need to sort of think too much about the food. So, you know, I shouldn't really assume that, but that's normally what happens. So color coding can be really help. It can really help if you're sort of visual like me. And then obviously the pink is really good for showing the leftover days. So for the week, I'm doing basically a Granola-Yoghurt Bowl for breakfast every day, pretty much. But I do switch out yogurt for kefir. And then lunch, I'm doing pesto, feta, chicken empanadas, which kind of like pasties basically. And then I'm gonna do a broccoli and cheddar soup, and I'll probably get some like bread to go with that. And then the dinners are a creamy sausage truffle pasta and a Thai coconut chicken meatball bowl. Each lunch and dinner, we only have 2 days a week, is because it's for me and Lewis, so there's 2 of us. So if you're only one person, you could probably, you know, making a big batch might last you the whole week. You've kind of got to do it, you know, if you're a family of 4, you might need a different meal every day, just because you get through the whole lot of batch cooking. And then for snacks, I've just put fruit or yogurt or both, just to keep me in the kind of the healthy frame of mind when I basically just want something sugary. That's the plan. I'm now gonna write the shopping list and do that with me. Get your shopping list ready to go. Again, you can download these. I've already started to fill mine out with things like coffee and, you know, red onions I know I need because we've run out. Based off the meal plan, I'm now gonna fill out the shopping list. The shopping list is written up. I've also added a note at the bottom that I actually have a Tesco voucher to use up. So anything you wanna remember to use or take with you or return, all those things, just put it at the bottom of your shopping list, because otherwise you'll forget. So let's go to the shops. I have unloaded the shop, and I know a lot of you love the Instagram food shop reels, so this will be an Instagram food shop reel as well. But you can see behind me, it was a really nice big shop. Got loads of fresh fruit and veg, stocked up on a few fridge bits, lots of snacks. These are absolutely delicious. Highly recommend those if you're a Tesco shopper. Yeah, a few bits that we always get, and some delicious bread. So we got this time
This is just for sort of snacking on and maybe for Lewis's breakfasts. So we've got a multigrain bloomer, and this is so delicious, this one. So yeah, shopping done, and that's it. So once you've done your meal plan, you've written out your list, you've taken it with you, you are then ready to basically cook them. So if you've chosen recipes from my Instagram, obviously save them and make a folder so everything's all organised. You could even make folders, you know, a dinner folder, a lunch folder. I really hope that has helped, and like I said before, you can download my full 2-week meal plans if you don't want to have to think about the recipes, and you kind of love the style of food that I do. I've done 2-week meal plans. I've got one that's all food, I've got a vegetarian version and the plant-based version, and it comes with the meal plans, it comes with all the recipes with obviously the ingredients lists, and it comes with the customisable meal planner if you want to like download it or print it off yourself. So yeah, happy meal planning, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.